Hello guys, my name is Arun Kumar Yadav and today we're gonna learn modern history. In modern history, what we are gonna learn? In modern history, we are gonna learn the advent of European to India. So here in this chapter, what we are gonna discuss? We are gonna discuss the reason that resulted in the discovery of new sea route to India. Why European countries searched a sea route? Why they have discovered a sea route to India? Okay, we are gonna discuss this one. And how did trade take place between India and Europe during Middle Ages? We are gonna discuss that one as well. Everything we are gonna discuss in this chapter. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section as well. Okay, so let's begin this chapter. So before that, what happened? There were a trade and commerce relationship between India and Europe since ancient time. Okay, and it continued till Middle Ages. So I have a question to you all. You just tell me why European wanted to trade to India. Why they wanted to trade? Why they wanted to trade with India? Because there was a great demand of spices in Europe. Okay, what kind of a product actually was demanded there in European countries? Like pepper, cardamom, ginger, clove, and many others. Okay, many others products also were there on that time. The products were in demand. Where? In European countries. That's why European countries wanted to trade with India. So what happened? All the trading were taking place through Constantinople. Just remember this name, okay? Constantinople is really very important name. Constantinople. The trade and commerce, the trading were taking place through Constantinople. All the trade were taking place through Constantinople. That's why Constantinople became the center of European trade. When it became the center of European trade, Constantinople became the center of European trade, then one name has already been given to Constantinople. What? Constantinople was also known as the gate of European trade. Okay, Constantinople became the center of European trade, and then after that, one more name, the Constantinople was also known as the gate of European trade as well. Don't forget this one. This is also important point. Okay, this question will be asked in the examination because that is also really important. And one more thing, you're not supposed to forget that. Okay, one more thing, it's really very important that Arab merchants had got monopoly over Asian trade. Okay, whereas Italian merchant had got monopoly over European trade. Arab had got monopoly over Asian trade. Arab had got monopoly over Asian, AA. Okay, just remember like that. And Italian had got monopoly over European trade. Okay, remember that one. This is also really very important. Okay, and I have already told you about this one. Arab merchant had got the monopoly over Asian trade, and Italian had got the monopoly over European state. So I just want to ask you, what is monopoly? Do you know anything about monopoly? Okay, I'll explain about that one. Okay, monopoly is a situation in which one company or any person or a government has no competition in the sale of a particular product. Okay, if a government has a product, okay, this product, and government has already got a monopoly of this product, then no other company will sell the same product. Okay, even though on that time in 1600 Queen Elizabeth had given a monopoly to British East India Company, that we are going to discuss after some in the next chapter. We are going to discuss this one, or in the same chapter actually we are going to discuss that one, that Queen Elizabeth had given a monopoly to British East India Company, even though so many companies were there on that time. Okay, in British, this is Britain, and in Britain so many companies were there, but who got monopoly? Only East India Company had got monopoly for 15 years. Okay, remember that also. For 15 years they have already got a monopoly. Who had got a monopoly? British East India Company had got a monopoly. So here what happened? I have already talked about this. Arab merchants carried Asian merchandise into Constantinople of Eastern Roman Empire. It was the center of European business and was known as the gateway of European trade, that I have already discussed over there in the previous slide. And Asia and Europe trade was taking place through Constantinople. I told you all the trade were taking place through Constantinople. That's why Constantinople became the center of European trade, and it was also known as the gateway of Europe. Okay, and then after that, what happened? See, all the trading were taking place through Constantinople. Then what happened? Constantinople was captured by Ottoman Turks. Okay, Constantinople was captured by Ottoman Turks in 1453. Okay, see, right now you just listen carefully. Okay, what happened? European and Asian, they were trading through European, Indian countries were trading through Constantinople. All the trading were taking place through Constantinople. But what happened in 1453? Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Okay, captured Constantinople and controlled as well on that one. So Turks started levy more and more taxes on good passes through that Constantinople. That's why European countries fed up with that one, and they didn't even want to trade through that particular route, because Turks started levied more and more taxes on good passes through that Constantinople. That's why this is the main reason. That's why they discovered a sea route from Europe to India. Okay, this is also the reason. Okay, what on that time actually when Constantinople was captured by Ottoman Turks in 1453, just remember that one. Okay, Constantinople was captured. Constantinople was captured in 1453 by Ottoman Turks. Okay, Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Then on that time the traders felt this business is not profitable, and they stopped business. On that time they were thinking this business was not at all profitable, because what happened, from that Constantinople, who captured? Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. So they were levying more and more taxes. Goods passes through that particular Constantinople. That's why traders felt this business is not at all profitable, and they have stopped their business, and they discovered a new sea route. So what happened? Two European countries were there on that time who searched a route to India. Okay, one is Spain, one is Portuguese, and Spain and Portuguese were encouraged by the government, okay, encouraged by the government to search a new sea route to India. That's why these two countries came forward, and they were trying to search a new sea route to India. And that time actually what happened, government also were helping them. Okay, government also were helping them on that time when they were searching a sea route. So many inventions was done on that time. So the invention of compass, astrolabe, gunpowder, and they have provided map also. Why map was there on that time? Because they wanted to see this, they wanted to see the direction, they wanted to know in which direction we have to go, so that we can search a new sea route from Europe to India. That's why they were searching. So I've already talked about that one. So right now we are going to talk about a new sea route to India. Okay, who searched a new sea route to India? So the main thing actually gonna come over here, Vasco da Gama, the main hero actually for this in this one. Actually Vasco da Gama was the main hero. So Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498. He only searched a sea route, okay, to India. So Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498, and he landed. He reached where he reached? He reached on the west coast of particular place, Calicut. Present right now actually we can call Kerala state. Okay, that Calicut state, on that time it was Calicut, the name was given Calicut, but right now it's Kerala state. Okay, so Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498, and he reached on the west coast particular place Calicut. Okay, and he left Lisbon and directly reached Kapadu, India. Okay, he left Lisbon. So what happened? I'll explain brief about this Vasco da Gama. What happened? In 1498 he searched the sea route. He reached Cape of Good Hope. So from there, one Indian person was there. He only showed a route to India. Okay, what was his name? His name was Abdul Mazid. Okay, Abdul Mazid was there. So he showed the route to Vasco da Gama, so that Vasco da Gama reached Calicut safely. Okay, so who welcomed by Vasco da Gama? Vasco da Gama was welcomed by Zamorin. Okay, Zamorin. That time Vasco da Gama was welcomed by Zamorin. So right now I have already told you the sequence of this European countries. So who came first, who went last, and one more thing actually you have to remember, Portuguese came to India first, and they left India last. Okay, they came to India first and they left India last. Okay, so Portuguese were the first to arrive at India. Okay, you just remember like that only. Portuguese were the first Okay, were the first to arrive at India for the trade and were also the last to leave India on the sea route. Okay, after Vasco da Gama, who came? After Vasco da Gama, Francisco de Almeida arrived in India as the viceroy of Portuguese. They came, they wanted to centralize, they wanted to expand their empire. Who wanted to expand their empire? Portuguese wanted to expand their empire. That's why they sent, after Vasco da Gama, Francisco de Almeida. Okay, Francisco de Almeida. Francisco de Almeida arrived at India as the viceroy or governor, we can say, viceroy of Portuguese. He arrived at India as viceroy of Portuguese. Okay, so what, see, right now actually I just want to talk about viceroy, the Francisco de Almeida, the first viceroy of Portuguese, Francisco de Almeida. And what he did, he implemented blue water policy. And even though those who wanted to trade to India, okay, those who wanted to trade with India, they had to register with blue water policy. If they didn't even register with blue water policy, then their ship was captured by Portuguese. That's why who implemented blue water policy? Francisco de Almeida implemented blue water policy. Why he implemented blue water policy? Francisco de Almeida, because he wanted to establish the supremacy over the sea instead of supremacy over land. Their main focus was sea. Okay, their main focus was sea. They wanted to establish the supremacy over the sea instead of supremacy over land. They didn't even concentrate on land. Okay, then who came? Alfonso de Almeida. Who came after Almeida? Okay, Alfonso de Albuquerque came. After whom? After Francisco de Almeida, Alfonso de Albuquerque came. And Alfonso de Albuquerque was the real founder of Portuguese. Okay, so hope you have already understood till now. Okay, so Portuguese, I have already told you about that, the first reached to India and last to leave. So just remember this one. Portuguese were the first to arrive at India for the trade and were also the last to leave India on the sea route. After Vasco da Gama, who came? Francisco de Almeida came. After Vasco da Gama, who came? Francisco de Almeida came. And Francisco de Almeida was the first viceroy of Portuguese. And what he did? He implemented blue water policy. Okay, he implemented blue water policy. And why he implemented blue water policy? Because he wanted to establish the supremacy over the sea instead of supremacy over land. Okay, then after that, who came? After Francisco de Almeida, who came? After Francisco de Almeida, Alfonso de Albuquerque came. And he was the real founder of Portuguese. Okay, Alfonso de Albuquerque was the real founder of Portuguese. And why he became the real founder of Portuguese? Because he did so many things. First things what he did, he captured Goa from Sultan of Bijapur in 1510. Okay, just remember that one. Why Alfonso de Albuquerque was the real founder of Portuguese? Because he captured Goa from Sultan of Bijapur in 1510. And what he did, he abolished blue water policy. Whose blue water policy? Who implemented blue water policy? Francisco de Almeida. And who abolished blue water policy? Alfonso de Albuquerque abolished blue water policy. And one more thing, actually, Alfonso de Albuquerque did. What he did, he encouraged Portuguese to get married with Hindu girl, so that they can expand their empire all over India. That's why Alfonso de Albuquerque encouraged Portuguese people to get married with a Hindu girl, so that we can expand our empire. So these all the things was there. And what happened, one more thing. See, when he captured Goa from Sultan of Bijapur in 1510, then he made a Goa administrative center in India. This question also will be asked: Who made Goa as a administrative center in India? Then who? Alfonso de Albuquerque. Goa was the administrative center in India on that time. Okay, so their power, when the Portuguese power declined. Okay, the Portuguese power declined in India due to the strong opposition by the Dutch and English East India Company. They couldn't fight. Okay, the Portuguese had absolute monopoly over trade with India for almost a century, and their power declined with the arrival of English and French to India. Okay, English and French and Dutch also. Okay, because of that reason Portuguese power declined. Okay, so hope you have already understood till this slide. And now after that, after who came? Dutch came. After Portuguese, who came? Dutch came. Just remember the sequence as well. Okay, after Portuguese, Dutch came. So what Dutch did? So that Dutch are from Holland, okay, or Netherlands we can say. They established their United East India Company. Okay, they established what they established? United East India Company. They established in 1602, and their important warehouses. What is warehouses? Do you know what is warehouses? What is warehouses? Warehouses where they stored all their goods and goods, all their goods, where they can keep, okay, where they can store all the goods, where they store all the goods. So don't forget these things, okay, whatever I'm telling you, just you have to remember what is warehouses. See, warehouses, you can know that one. Warehouses were the places of storing merchandise. Huge walls were built around these warehouses to provide protection. See, this is warehouses. They can store all the merchandise, okay, all the merchandise they can store in this warehouse. And the warehouse, huge wall were built around these warehouses to provide protection, because they have already stored everything in this one. All the merchandise was stored in this only, right? So they wanted to protect also. So what they did, huge wall were built around these warehouses. Why they wanted to build? Because they wanted to protect their merchandise, that's why. And that's why actually they have made that one. And Dutch, what Dutch did in this one? Okay, so many warehouses. So the important warehouses are Surat, Bruch, Cambay, Kochi, Nagapattinam, Machilipattinam. So these are all the main important warehouses for Dutch. So just remember this one as well. Okay, they established their warehouses in Surat, Bruch, Cambay, Kochi, Nagapattinam, Machilipattinam, and Chinsur, and other places in India. With this, they broke the monopoly of Portuguese in India. Later, unable to face competition from English and French, Dutch limited themselves to spice-rich island. Okay, so I hope you have already understood till there. Okay, they established their warehouses here only, and even though they wanted to do business, what was the Dutch aim? What was the aim of Dutch? The aim of doing business with eastern countries and entered countries like India. They wanted to enter country like India, Java, Sumatra, Indonesia, and spices rich company as well. So hope you have already understood till Portuguese and Dutch. Okay, you have already understood. Now we are going to talk about English East India Company. So here Queen Elizabeth, okay, what she did, Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter to East India Company. See this, she issued a royal charter. Royal charter means monopoly only. She has already issued a monopoly where they won't find any competition. Okay, whatever the product they'll sell, they are not they won't find any competitor for them. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter to East India Company to trade for 15 years. Just remember this one, this date as well. 15 years only. Okay, Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter. Queen Elizabeth issued a monopoly to East India Company to trade for 15 years only. Okay, that is royal charter. Okay, and it was issued on, when the royal charter was issued, it was issued on December 31st 1600. It was issued on December 31st 1600. And in Emperor Jahangir, what Emperor Jahangir issued? Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to establish factory at Surat. Okay, this question also will be asked. Okay, who issued a royal permission to establish factory at Surat? So Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission. Royal charter and royal permission, these both are different things. Okay, so royal charter was issued by Queen Elizabeth for 15 years to East India Company. Okay, and it was issued on December 31st 1600. And Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to establish factory at Surat. So who issued a royal permission to British East India Company to establish a factory at Surat? Emperor Jahangir. Remember that one. And Sir Thomas Roe arrived Jahangir Court 1617 by James Ford. Okay, who was the ambassador who arrived at Jahangir Court? Sir Thomas Roe. Sorry. So just remember that one also. Sir Thomas Roe arrived Jahangir's court in 1617 by James I and got permission. When Sir Thomas Roe arrived Jahangir court, then he got permission to establish factory at Agra, Ahmedabad and Bhuj. These three places actually he got the permission from Emperor Jahangir. Okay, so Emperor Jahangir, so three things you have already known. Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter to East India Company to trade for 15 years, and it was issued on December 31st, 1600 CE. Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to establish factory at Surat. Emperor Jahangir and Sir Thomas Roe arrived Jahangir's court, okay, in 1617 by James I and got permission to establish their factory at Agra, Ahmedabad and Bhuj. And then after that, the main thing actually what they did, they took Madras from Chandagiri king. Okay, they took Madras from Chandagiri king, and what they established their St. George Fort. This fort was really very strongest fort. Okay, so how East India Company may establish their St. George Fort, how they established their St. George Fort. First, what they did, they took Madras from Chandagiri kings. Okay, they took Madras from Chandagiri king, and from there only they established. After that, what they did, they established St. George Fort. Remember this name, St. George Fort. Okay. I just want to talk about Charles II. Who is Charles II? So Charles II, what he did, he got married with a Portuguese girl. Okay, when he got married with a Portuguese girl, then he got Bombay as a dowry. So what Charles II did, the Prince of England gave Bombay to East India Company in 1668. Okay, in 1668. That Bombay was given to East India Company an annual rent of £10. Okay, so what he did, first of all, he got married with a Portuguese girl, and he got Bombay as a dowry. Okay, as a dowry, and the Bombay was given to East India Company in 1668 an annual rent of £10. Okay, so he used to take £10 annual rent. Then what happened, English East India Company purchased some villages. Okay, what is the name of those villages? Remember that name as well. Sutaniti, Kalikata, Govindpura, and built Fort William Fort at Kolkata. Okay, St. George Fort, I have already told you, they took Madras, and then after they established St. George Fort. And now what they did, they made, right now Britishers, English East India Company purchased some village like Sutaniti, Kalikata, Govindpura and built Fort William Fort at Kolkata. Okay, later by 17th century, what happened, just now remember these things. Okay, what happened in this one? In this, Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter, Emperor Jahangir issued royal permission, Sir Thomas Roe arrived at Jahangir court 1617 and got permission to establish Agra. This is the main thing. Okay, presidencies, this are all called presidencies. So later by 17th century, Bombay, Madras and Kolkata became the important presidencies for British East India Company. So which one became the important presidencies? Bombay, Madras and Calcutta. Don't forget the name. Okay, Bombay, Madras and Calcutta became the important presidencies for East India Company. Now we are going to talk about the French East India Company. Okay, French East India Company started as a government owned company in 1664. Okay, they started as a government owned company in 1664. They started in 1664. It started its first factory in Surat. Okay, they started their first factory at Surat in 1668, like Machilipatnam, and then after that Machilipatnam, and then Chandranagar, Mahi, Karaikal, Kasim Bazar and Balasur. Remember the name as well. Okay, where they have established their factories. Okay, so Machilipatnam, Chandranagar, Mahi, Karaikal, Kasim Bazar and Balasur. And in 1674 what happened? Okay, 1664 they have already established, they have already started their government owned company. Okay, they have started, French East India Company started as a government owned company in 1664, and they started their first factory in Surat in the year 1668. Okay, in the year 1668. Now I just want to talk about 1674. What happened in 1674? In 1674, French took Valikandapuram. took from a local Muslim official and developed it as a major trade center. Okay, which one? Valikandapuram. See here only they took Valikandapuram from a local Muslim official and developed it as a major trade. Okay, what is the major trade center for French East India Company? That is called Valikandapuram. Remember that one. And here I just want to talk about the Duplex. Duplex was really talented and he was really a good administrator. So Duplex was the Governor General of French. That time Duplex became the Governor General of French, and he helped Hyder Ali army to train his army. Okay, Hyder Ali to train his army. So Hyder Ali army was trained by Duplex only. Just remember that one, Hyder Ali. Okay, and Duplex. These all the things are made really very important for you. Okay, this question also will be asked. Hyder Ali army are trained by Duplex. Okay, this answer should be given over there. The competition between English and French started that time. Okay, competition. And even though I just want to talk about something about French, that center in Puducherry or Pondicherry, Duplex, who arrived in Pondicherry as the Governor General of France, had the high ambition. Okay, Duplex had the high ambition. Okay, what ambition he had? He had the ambition of establishing French as the major power in South India. Okay, what his ambition was? His ambition of establishing French as the major power in South India. This ambition led to the Carnatic War with English East India Company. So here only this ambition, because of this ambition only, political uprising aroused in Hyderabad and Carnatic and English and French. Okay, and I exploited the situation. This led to the Carnatic War. So after these things only, I have already told you the ambition. Okay, that ambition. What Governor General, what Duplex ambition? Duplex, because of his ambition only, they establishing French as the major power. He wanted to establish. Who wanted to establish? Duplex wanted to establish French as a major power in South India. This ambition only, because of this ambition only, it led to the Carnatic War with English East India Company. The competition between English and French started. Okay, what happened? The competition between French and English East India Company started. The Portuguese and Dutch had withdrawn from India, unable to withstand the competition from French and English by 18th century. So they had already withdrawn. Okay, because they have already given up. Who? Portuguese and Dutch had already given up. They were thinking like, no, we can't even survive over here if this competition will be there in front of them. Okay, they can't survive. They were thinking like that. Okay, because on that time the two main power were there right in front of them, French and British East India Company. That's why they had given up and they went out. Finally, French and English resorted to show strength in order to establish their political supremacy over India. Meanwhile, political volatility aroused in the region of Hyderabad and Carnatic. Okay, east part of that one. So what happened? So in that one, what happened? The first Carnatic War was fought. Okay, so shall we start with the first Carnatic War? Before gonna go ahead with first Carnatic War, I just want to talk about the Hyderabad. See, I just want to talk about Hyderabad right now. Battle of Buxar. No, first Carnatic War we are gonna talk about. Okay. So here actually before that I just want to talk about Hyderabad. Okay, what happened in Hyderabad? Hyderabad was established by whom? Hyderabad was established by Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jah. Okay, Hyderabad was established by Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jah in 1724, and his feudatory. Who was his feudatory? Dost Ali. Okay, his feudatory was Dost Ali. Okay, Dost Ali was not loyal to Asaf Jah. Okay, Dost Ali was not loyal to Asaf Jah. Okay, Dost Ali, who was ruling Carnatic region, was not loyal to Asaf Jah, Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jah. Then what happened? Dost Ali was killed by Marathas. Okay, when Dost Ali was killed by Marathas in 1714 and looted Carnatic and imprisoned his son-in-law. Okay, Dost Ali had a son-in-law. Who was his son-in-law? His son-in-law was Chanda Saheb in Satara. Okay, so what happened over there? Chanda Sahib was imprisoned. Okay, Dost Ali was killed by Maratha and Chanda Sahib was imprisoned. Then what happened in Satara? Asaf Jahan name. See, when Chanda Sahib was imprisoned, then no Carnatic Nawab was there. So who gave the name of Anwaruddin? Anwaruddin name was given by Anwaruddin name as the Nawab of Carnatic was given by Asaf Jah only. Asaf Jah had given the name Anwaruddin, okay, as a Nawab of Carnatic. So who became the Nawab of Carnatic now? Anwaruddin. Anwaruddin became the Nawab of Carnatic. Okay, so hope you have already understood till this slide. So tomorrow we have when the second part. In second part, what we are gonna learn? In second part, we are gonna learn the first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War, and third Carnatic War. So guys, let's be revise. Okay, what we have already studied. Okay, so what we have studied that time, from the beginning itself, there were a trade and commerce relationship between India and European countries. Why European countries were trading to India? Because there was a great demand of Indian product like spices product, cardamom, ginger, pepper, clove, and many others. Okay, so all the trades were taking place through which city? Constantinople. Just remember this name. Okay, that's why Constantinople became the center of European trade, and Constantinople was also known as the gate of European trade. Then Constantinople was captured by Ottoman Turk in 1453. When it was captured by Ottoman Turk, so Ottoman Turk levied more and more taxes on the good passes through Constantinople. Then the traders felt this business is not profitable and they stopped. So that's why they discovered a sea route to India. Okay, how they discovered the sea route to India? On that time, Spain and Portuguese were two powers were there. They were searching a route to India. Okay, so that time actually they invented so many things like astrolabes. Okay, astrolabe, gunpowder, map, and all those things they established. They invented that on that time. Okay, then what happened? then what happened? Then this lesson is gonna be, and then after that Portuguese came, Vasco da Gama came in 1498. He reached Calicut, and then after that he left Lisbon. Directly he reached Capadu, and over there actually he was welcomed by Zamorin. See, this is the sequence. Okay, first Portuguese came, Dutch came, English came, then French came. Okay, French was the last, but when Portuguese, Dutch, English came, then after that Denis, in between Denis also came, then after that the French came. Okay, Portuguese first reached to India and last to leave India. Okay, Francisco de Almeida, blue water policy. You just remember blue water policy. Okay, then Alfonso de Albuquerque, the real founder of Portuguese, and Goa. He captured Goa from Sultan of Bijapur in 1510, and then after that, what he did, Goa was the administrative center in India. He made a Goa was the administrative center in India. Okay, then their power declined. Why their power declined? Because French and British East India Company and Dutch. Okay, because of that reason the power was declined. Okay, the power of Portuguese was declined. Then Dutch came. They are from Holland, Netherlands. They established the United East India Company in 1602, and their important warehouses. Warehouses I've already told you. Okay, what is warehouse? Where they keep where they stored merchandise. Okay, that is called warehouses. So warehouses, where they established their warehouses, their important warehouses are Surat, Bruj, Cambay, Kochi, Nagapattinam, Machilipattinam. These were the main warehouses for Dutch East India Company. And then after that, English East India Company. Royal Charter was given by Queen Elizabeth to British East India Company for 15 years, and it was issued on December 31st. And Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to establish first factory at Surat, and Sir Thomas Roe arrived Jahangir's court in 1617 he got the permission to establish factories at Agra, Ahmedabad, and Bruj. And then they took Madras from Chandragiri King and established St. George's Fort. Okay, and Charles II, he got married with a Portuguese girl, and he got Bombay as a dowry, and Bombay was given to British East India Company in 1668, an annual rent of £10. Okay, then what they did, British India Company purchased villages, that is Sutaniti, Kalikata, Govindpura, and built Williams Fort at Calcutta. Okay, then later by 17th century, what they did. But Bombay, Madras and Kolkata became the important presidencies of British East India Company. Then on that time, Madras, okay, in first Carnatic War only, Madras was captured by Burdane. That we are gonna discuss tomorrow. Only. Then French East India Company, I've already told you the first factory of French East India Company in Surat. Then after that, Machilipatnam, Chandranagar, Mahi, Karaikal, Kasim Bazar, Balasore. After the first factory, they have made this factory as well. They took Valikandapuram, major trade center for French East India Company. Dupleix was the Governor General of French, and he helped Hyder Ali to train his army. The competition between English East India Company and French started. Okay, then tomorrow we are gonna learn the first Carnatic War, the second Carnatic War, everything, the third Carnatic War we are gonna learn. So today that's all for the day, guys. Take care. Bye bye.